The New York Jets have made multiple moves as the team is continuing to add and show some of their plans for next season, as well as the rest of this year going forwards. And it really does make all the sense in the world for the Jets to be doing what they're doing. However, one move in particular is almost sort of insulting to what the Jets have done this year, and we are going to break all that stuff down, discuss the moves they made, why they made the moves, and because they actually do have an impact on next season as well. But guys, before we do that, if you do, just very quickly, subscribe if you're part of that 66.4% that is not subscribed to Jets Digest, because we are giving all the breakdowns on the New York Jets so you know everything that's going on with the team. But guys, let's jump into it. There is a lot to go over with the Jets going forward now, because guys, as we know, it's been a rough season. Nobody's denying that. Obviously, Darren, Mougey, and the front office's plan was not to instantly turn around and be great. They hoped it would happen, but it felt like an unlikely situation. And now the Jets, with Mougey at the helm, have them as a team with the best draft capital going into this draft and next year's draft as well. So, if anything, the Jets have started to rebuild the correct way, which feels really, really good based off the absolute terrors that we've been dealing with. The Jets ultimately know they need a quarterback, and they also know a lot more about their quarterback plans now going forwards this season, and, well, not just this season because that's 2 games. And more importantly, next season and the years ahead as well, obviously, because they need a franchise guy. No team really wins a Super Bowl anymore without a franchise quarterback. It's getting more and more impossible. The quarterback's the most known position in football. The NFL wants the quarterbacks to be great, so it's impossible to be a great defensive team and a terrible offensive team and ever win anything, basically, is what I'm saying. So, with all that in mind, the Jets do have a few different moves that they can make and a few different moves that they did make, including this guy right here, as it was ultimately revealed that the Jets claimed defensive back Christopher Smith off waivers from the Rams and placed Justin Fields on the injured reserve, which obviously means 2 things. One, the Jets get a defensive back, and also Justin Fields' season is officially over. Now, on top of that, the New York Jets did announce that Smith, who's 5'10", 197 pounds, was selected in the 5th round of the 2023 NFL Draft by the Las Vegas Raiders. The Georgia product appeared in 36 games over 3 seasons for Las Vegas, primarily as a contributor on special teams. Smith was waived by the Raiders on November 18th after appearing in 9 games for the team this season. He was claimed by the Rams and appeared in 4 games for Los Angeles before he was waived by the team on Tuesday, which led to the Jets ultimately picking him up subsequently, off waivers, that is, of course. Now, with that in mind, obviously the Jets, this is not some league-breaking move. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it is a league-breaking move, but the Jets, to give them credit where credit is certainly due, they have the best special teams in the league. They are a great special teams unit. So they likely see something in Smith that they want to use, and I mean, or maybe it's because it's if you take out the Topher, and I did in my name, and you just call him Chris Smith, and you say that fast, it is the holiday season after all. So, now that we know that was so pointless, guys. I thought it was going to be funny, or say it wasn't, but we're gonna move past it. Look, the deal here is the Jets are adding to their special teams, but also doing something that does kind of feel a little bit insulting, as we do see it get mentioned right here, that the Jets have added a safety in Christopher Smith, who has 0 interceptions in 3 NFL seasons, so he should fit right in on a team that's 2 games away from having the first ever season without one, unfortunately. Now, on top of that, when we look at Smith over his time, he really has spent almost all of it with special teams, but he did appear in a lot of games throughout his career, so him getting waived is certainly, I mean, basically when you look at it, it's a move that's not going to hurt the Jets, is what I'm trying to say here. If anything, the Jets see something in a guy who's still just 25 years old and that they could mold into something likely on their special teams unit, as they have done this before throughout the season. They've added guys who have specifically been special teams type guys. The Jets want to win on the margins, and that is one area that they certainly can win on right now. It's the only area where they can win on if we're being real. So with that right now, it is good to see that they do have something going their way, no matter what it is. Now, on top of that, the Jets, as we know, they finished Justin Fields' season off and they placed him on the IR. Fields will finish the season with 9 games appeared in as the Jets starting quarterback, going 2-7, throwing for 1,259 yards, 7 touchdowns, and an interception. Justin Fields is not going to get an offer to be a starting quarterback next season. It's not going to happen. Let's be real. We know that he could maybe try to fight his way into something because the man is an absolutely superb athlete, but we all also know the truth. We know that Justin Fields is not going to be a starting quarterback anywhere next season, and he's not going to be on the Jets next season. This was a failed experiment. I honestly still think it was worth it, but we knew the Jets were likely not going to be good this year because they had a lack of a quarterback. Now, Fields did have some good games. He had some terrible games, but he also did have some good games. Not all the moments were terrible for Justin Fields. I mean, their first game of the season, most specifically against the Pittsburgh Steelers, Fields looked very good, in fact. I mean, his passing wasn't out of this world, but he threw for 218 yards and 1 touchdown. That's going to be helpful considering he also rushed for 2. He did have a good game. I mean, his first game with the Jets, it was like, oh, wow, Justin Fields might actually be something here. This could be super, super helpful if he can continue this path. And the Steelers were a tough team with a tough defense. So you thought maybe something could work out in Buffalo after that, and it didn't. He threw for 27 yards. So that did not work at all. The game ended with Tyrod Taylor in it, and then the following week, ultimately, Fields was not even starting anymore. So it was really not a great... That was because he was hurt, though, in fairness. But that was the beginning of the end right there, losing that one game, and then losing, and then losing, and then losing, and losing, and losing, till he eventually won 2 games. Both of them against the 2 Ohio teams in the NFL. Now, Fields against Cincinnati Bengals, who have a terrible defense, looked good. 244 yards and a touchdown thrown. He played very, very good football, ultimately, and rushed for 31 yards as well. So he had his moments, but it's also the games that you see where he threw for 27 yards, 45 yards, followed it up with 46 yards, 54 yards. He wasn't good. Like, he was not a good quarterback this season at all. So, ultimately, we're going to see a guy in Fields who is not going to be starting next season. It's not that the Jets are going to keep him and he's just not going to start. The Jets are not going to keep him. They're going to owe him $10 million that they're going to ultimately probably have to pay out. But at the same time, Justin Fields will be waived off the team, and he will go somewhere and become a backup. I think Baltimore makes sense considering they obviously have the best rushing quarterback in football, so they could definitely kind of mirror him, if you will, with Justin Fields. I guess he's good enough to be a backup quarterback. He'll be fine. But, well, But basically with the Jets, it was a failed experiment. There's no other way around it. The turnover rate was terrible. Justin Fields was sort of the bottom here, or towards the top here, if anything. Sorry, I completely read that wrong. Because, frankly, he didn't throw interceptions. The Jets did operate with a run-heavy offense, and that did work in Fields' favor, as if he's going to succeed anywhere, he does need that to be the case. But ultimately, his passing could not keep the Jets honest, and that didn't work out because the Jets needed at least some form of a pass game, which they didn't have. It didn't help them that Garrett Wilson got hurt, but at the end of the day, it was just not a good offensive season by the Jets at all. They do have 2 games left, though, and Brady Cook will be the starting quarterback for those. Cook has not looked good thus far in his 3 games. His completion percentage is not great at a 59.2. He only has started 2 of those games, though. He did go into one when the Jets were already down 21-0 in the first quarter, and it just... Ultimately, it was an impossible situation for him to succeed. The next 2 games, obviously, it was going to be tough, and he struggled mightily. He only has 1 touchdown thrown, while he does have 6 interceptions. And he's fumbled the ball a good amount, too, so he's got to get better at turning the ball over, or, well, not turn the ball over. And ultimately, it doesn't feel like he's some serious option, but he'll be around with the Jets at least for another season or so. So we'll see how Brady Cook looks, and who knows, maybe he'll show us something that could mean something down the line for the Jets, ultimately. Here's hoping. Guys, what do you think, though? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a wonderful, wonderful Friday. Go Jets. It didn't stop recording. What a nice icing on the cake of a video. I felt like I misread half the words I said.